Good afternoon, class, and welcome to part 2 of my master class on experience in Spirit Shards. If you missed part 1, click the link in the description and come right back when you're done. And when people ask me the best way to get Spirit Shards, I like to joke and say, by accident. You get experience from almost everything in the game, and I envy players that get all the Spirit Shards they need from normal play. Since we're talking about getting Spirit Shards fast, there are a couple ways of buying Spirit Shards. During the Festival of Four Winds, you can exchange as many materials as you want for Zephyrite boxes, which contain tokens, which can buy Spirit Shards. This can be incredibly expensive, even with average luck, but if you're okay with gambling and don't mind dealing with the obscene amounts of quartz, there's really no limit to this. You can also buy fractal encryptions and stabilizing matrices from the trading post. However, the average price lately is well over 10 gold per Spirit Shard, and the orders are quite slow to fill. There are also some limited ways to buy Spirit Shards with other currencies. You can buy Tomes of Knowledge and Mastery coffers from the Wizard's Vault every 3 months. You can get up to 6 levels of World Experience from Dugan and World v World every week, and you can buy Bag of Educational Supplies and the Box of World v World supplies from a few vendors every day. By the way, I've collected a relatively small sample size for both of those containers and have observed an average of 1.25 Spirit Shards and 1/3 of a World v World level, respectively, in addition to their other drops. Check the description for a spreadsheet that contains my source data for those. Before we get to farming Spirit Shards, I want to highlight 2 daily activities you can do. First up are Griffin Course adventures, as popularized by Darren's. Achieving gold time is about 30 seconds for each of these and gives 40% of a Spirit Shard and can be boosted. If you get consistent, maybe park some characters and set up boosters, you can realistically earn a Spirit Shard per minute with this. Next are easy LS3 dailies. Every day there's 1 or 2 that can be done in less than a minute and grant 3 chests each. Why do I mention LS3 specifically? Oh, because weird shit. The daily chests from Living World all say they contain a scrap of mastery, which is 5% of a Spirit Shard. However, LS3 chests grant 2 for some reason. Why yes, thank you ArenaNet, I will take the extra experience, especially for this next trick. This is kind of niche, but my favorite cheese lately has been combining level 50-60 tomes from birthdays with mastery consumables. This takes advantage of the double dipping mentioned in part 1. I don't want to bore you too much with the math, but here's a table showing how many extra Spirit Shards you get from leveling instead of consuming at level 80, depending on your starting level. And this is also a good way to get value from the Tomes of Mentorship from those bags of educational supplies. Just remember to use the Tomes of Mentorship first, then the Mastery consumables when you're closer to 80. Alright, we've done our dailies, time to talk farms. We'll want to know how to max out our boosters for this. I made a spreadsheet to help me compare different loadouts, and you can find a link to it in the description to make a copy for yourself and find more detail on these buffs on the wiki. The first loadout only costs about 1 gold per hour and can be repeated as much as desired. Most of the buffs are free, just a little prep, EXP enrichment in your Ascended Amulet, Guild Tavern buff, resting at Arborstone or the Wizard's Tower, completing the Trading Heart in Saitung Province, and buying the buff from the vendor, a celebration or birthday booster, and the hero banner. Then from the trading post, pick up a Halloween food with 15% experience, and the Chatoyant elixir for 20% experience, and a bunch of the cheapest New Year firework for another 5%. Lastly, use an EXP booster or the Candy Corn Gobbler and the festival buff from Taffy or Snowflake Gobbler. From all this, we get 310 kill percent and 105 all percent for an effective bonus of 741 EXP from kills. If you add the Snow Globe and Firework from Festival Dailies, bump that up to 823%. And if you're willing to spend a little more, you can use a Black Lion booster, an EXP Bonfire, and an Exploding Drake Tail to get nearly 1,100 bonus from kills. According to the wiki, you should only be able to get half of that. Oh, and if you really want, you can add 1% all EXP from doing a Cryptus conversions with the associated mastery. Keep in mind that some maps have additional bonuses and everyone's achievement points are different. If you want to calculate for your situation, use the spreadsheet in the description. With that out of the way, let's look at some decent farms. Ever since Soto came out, I've heard people talking about how good rift farming is for Spirit Shards, but how good is it actually? All tiers give the same experience for the event reward, but tier 1 rifts are much faster, requiring less kills for the pre-event and only an elite boss. I was able to clear 24 rifts an hour solo in some maps, and it took 10 kills to clear the pre-event. That works out to about 14 Spirit Shards an hour. With a larger group, you can get more kill experience in the scaled up pre-event and burn the bosses faster. Let's say 20 kills worth and 30 rifts for almost 23 Spirit Shards an hour. Not bad, especially if you need the Rift Essence. Fractals give decent experience rewards considering they're already great for gold. Here's the calculation for experience in 42 farming. Most of the Spirit Shards come from the instant mastery you get from the end chest and converting relics into Spirit Shards, neither of which are affected by boosters. Still, the cheap loadout gives an extra 5 to 6 Spirit Shards per hour from the kills you get during the Fractal, and having full account upgrades brings this up to 30 to 40 Spirit Shards per hour, depending on your group. And if I could get away without mentioning Halloween Labyrinth, I would, but a lot of people farm this for experience. There are worse farms out there, but getting a good run depends on a lot of variables that you can't really control, and it's hard to calculate how good it could be and will almost always fall short in practice. Now, I didn't invent any of these farms, but I don't think most players really understand how high the potential really is on exploration bonus grinding. Max exploration more than triples the experience from a base mob before applying boosters. A max exploration cheap boosted kill is almost 30 times the base experience. This is possible with any open world mob, so we can pick from the LS4 maps to utilize the 30% all EXP buff as well. The main task is finding areas with densely packed mobs that aren't killed regularly, but there are a few other considerations. First, Istan has a unique buff that gives another 20% kill experience after killing one of Joko's loyalists. This can add another Spirit Shard or two if you play around it while on the map. Now heading over to Thunderhead Keep, the North meta just failed, but I'm sticking around to watch these mobs accrue experience. Notice the mob density here. There's a lot of juicy experience racking up. Just a reminder, when I killed the Embers in Jahai in part 1, I got 746 base and 2,503 bonus experience. After I wait more than 30 minutes, I head down and kill these mobs, and we're getting 2,958 bonus experience. Weird shit. This is about 14% more total experience than any other mob with exploration bonus. I've even seen these mobs with up to 28% more. All of that extra experience is multiplicative and boostable. Between this and the LS4 map bonus, a single mob's kill experience is more than 40 times its base experience value. To beat out 42 farm with cheap boosters, we need at least 9 kills a minute, which is very achievable. However, this farm really shines with additional boosters. Unlike most farms, this is all kill experience, so all boosters apply. In part 3, you can watch me demo the farm in 2 different loadouts, getting 60 and 90 Spirit Shards in an hour. I'll also go over some of my routes and build choices. See you there.